or even just because you have a specific vision that if you write VRROH under a note, people might not know what like sound or syllable you want them to make. And so you'll record, yourself singing through it and make learning tracks. And so what makes it really easy is that you can hard tune and hard time all of it, because it doesn't matter if it sounds super, super auto-tuned. You want it to be as precise as possible. So using those macros and using Melodyne Studio as opposed to the Bridge and Pro Tools makes it a lot easier because you can see vertically how the waveforms line up. Something that you may or may not know is that you can go from audio to MIDI in Melodyne. I learned this from an arranger, a guy named Rob Dietz, who is an awesome arranger. And he does most of his arranging not on Sibelius or Finale or MuseScore or Noteflight or any of these notation softwares, but he'll sing into Melodyne, hard tune it, and then bounce that to MIDI and build sheet music based off the audio. And that's what I think is really cool. And that's like a really cool trick that I didn't know about before. He told me, because you can spend hours and hours typing the stuff into the software and then you have to sing it, and that takes another day or so. But if you sing it first and then hard tune it, boom, your learning tracks are done, and then you export it to the MIDI and then clean it up, it makes it so much easier to make that sheet music. Wow. And, you could argue that you're going to come up with a more intuitive part if you're singing it into the computer as opposed to typing it into the computer.
Right, I guess it depends on how your brain works.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Amazing. So you're not really doing so much melodyning on actual recordings, and
I have done it from time to time, but
you try to get good takes.
Yeah, I mean, I've done studio for a long time, and I feel like I go back and forth every 5 or 6 years between studio and live. And I feel like studio, I can be alone, I can do it late at night when no one's going to bother me, have my cup of coffee or cup of whatever and sit and sip on it and work and be meticulous about every little thing and I can add this and that's really great. And then I feel like a couple of years after that, it kind of, it's less energizing and more depleting to me because there's so many options. It becomes a little bit overwhelming and a little bit lonely. So I end up going towards the live side, which I really like the idea of cultivating experience, the idea of psychoacoustics, and what can I do to help the audience feel what the band wants them to feel. And that's really exciting to me, and the obviously the instant gratification of an audience is really nice. Yeah, and perhaps in a couple of years I'll go back to studio because I have bounced back and forth a couple of times, so it stays fresh. Amazing. No matter what.
Wow, this is awesome, dude. This is really eye-opening for me, and I learned a lot, and I'm sure the audience will, and they'll get a deeper appreciation for A Cappella and for what you do. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining me on the show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Secret Sonics. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Evan as much as I did. If you've been enjoying the show, I would really appreciate it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review, and also share this episode or your favorite episode with a friend. That really helps us. In addition to that, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast app, and you could find out more at secretsonics.co, where you can also choose an app to subscribe to on. As always, I'm open to your feedback, and I would love to hear from you at secretsonics@gmail.com, where you can let me know what you want to hear about and who you want to hear from. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Secret Sonics. That about wraps it up for this episode, so thank you so much for tuning in again, and until next time, hope you guys have a great week and dig in.